welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Swerve in the building. Back with another reaction. 10 of the most dangerous inmates. Hey, free all the real niggas that's in themselves, man. Let's get this started.
The prison
and all the ones that deserve to be in that bitch.
Reprehensible individuals in our society. Yet within these confines lurk those even more sinister. These inmates have committed unthinkable acts, even extending their crimes within the prison walls. In this gripping video, we'll delve into the chilling profiles of 10 of the most terrifying prisoners known to humanity. Number 10, Billy Joe Johnson. Billy Joe Johnson, infamous for his white supremacist gang affiliations, led a life defined by criminality and violence. He earned a life sentence for avenging an anonymous TV expose about his gang by murdering his childhood confidant Scott Miller. However, his reign of terror persisted behind bars as he confessed to the ruthless killings of 2 fellow inmates for petty reasons and the barbarous homicide of a child molester. Johnson rapidly attained notoriety as the prison's most savage inmate. Despite receiving the death sentence following a retrial, he remained remorseless throughout the legal proceedings. Number 9, Alexander Solenik. Alexander Solenik, once a feared superkiller of the underworld, was a ruthlessly trained Russian assassin originally deployed to target senior NATO officials during the Cold War. After the end of the Cold War, the unemployed Solenik turned his deadly skills to the Russian mafia as a hitman. Despite his incarceration after a string of contract assassinations, his deadly trade flourished behind bars, eliminating numerous prisoners under mafia contracts. After a violent shootout, he made a daring escape, aided by his mob allies. He sought refuge in Greece with a great desire for peace, but the past followed him relentlessly. Tragically, an assassin hired by the mafia took Solenik's life, along with his girlfriend, subjecting him to the same violence that once defined him.
That's tough.
Number 8, Randy Kraft.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Emerging from ordinary beginnings in California, Randy Kraft's horrific crimes shocked the globe as he was convicted of multiple murders, each victim a grim notch on his spine-chilling tally. This intelligent, captivating individual concealed his monstrous alter ego beneath an enigmatic, seemingly average exterior. Behind his affable charm lurked a cold, calculating predator, viewing humanity as his hunting ground. Kraft's bloodlust remained undiminished by imprisonment, simply transitioning his murderous endeavors within prison walls.
How y'all just become murderers?
Reported deaths of fellow inmates hinted at his continued reign of terror, exploiting the prison system to execute his lethal stratagems. Each life claimed further solidified his reputation as one of America's most dread-inspiring convicts.
And they can't trust niggas with mustaches like that. You got that sheriff mustache.
7, Arthur Shawcross.
You can't trust grown men that got a 5 o'clock mustache.
Emerging from humble origins in Kittery, Maine, Arthur Shawcross' life took a dark detour into infamy, etched in blood by his conviction for 14 deliberate, premeditated homicides. His gruesome deeds earned him a haunting moniker and turned him into a symbol of terror. Shawcross's hardened visage and icy glaze infused fear, his seemingly composed demeanor barely veiling the monster within. This chilling ruthlessness unnerved even the bravest. His facades of charm and affability concealed a manipulative nature, making him an alarmingly dangerous adversary. A grim truth that resonated within his prison confines. Incarceration didn't halt Shawcross's reign of terror. His alleged murder of an inmate prompted a disturbing query. How could a man already convicted of multiple murders commit another within prison walls? This further act of violence amplified his dreadful reputation, epitomizing his insatiable bloodlust.
If you get stuck on a melody, or if you just feel like you can't get a song started, Output's co-producer is...
Man, just get out the studio.
Number 6, Alexander Petrushkin. Alexander Petrushkin, famously dubbed the Chessboard Killer, is an infamous Russian serial murderer who professed to have taken 63 lives. His fascination with chess and unique kill tally method marking each death on a chessboard, led to his chilling epithet. Convicted and handed a life sentence, he endures his days in solitary confinement, deemed too dangerous for regular prison population. Given the sparse information available to the public, unconfirmed suspicions linger about murders committed within prison confines. Undoubtedly, Pichushkin stands as one of Russia's most notorious criminals.
It got to the point where he caught up to him, now he's serving time and shit, but like, bro, how you got away with 63? Like, I feel like you should have got caught after like
Number
5, 6,
Christopher
10.
Scarver. You may be familiar with the story of Christopher Scarver, the African-American convict who ended the life of notorious serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer. Serving a life sentence for fatally confronting a former employer, Scarver was already known as a brutal figure inside Wisconsin's Columbia Correctional Institution. This fact escalated when Dahmer, known for his horrific crimes, mostly against African Americans, became his fellow prisoner. Realizing the extent of Dahmer's atrocities, Scarver made his move, killing Dahmer in a violent act of revolt inside the prison gym. Consequently, he spent many years in solitary confinement due to the ferocity of his actions, cementing his reputation as the institution's most feared and ruthless enemy.
Somebody got to. I ain't gonna do it. Somebody got to.
Number 4, Robert Maudsley.
You like that nigga from
British convict Robert Maudsley, infamous as Hannibal the Cannibal, possesses a haunting past, painted with trauma and savagery. Born into a home riddled with physical and purported sexual abuse, he spiraled into a life stained by prostitution, addiction, and murder. Tormented by voices beckoning him to execute his parents, Maudsley mused that heeding these calls might have spared others. In 1974, his deadly touch fell upon John Farrell, executed through garroting. Yet imprisonment couldn't quell Maudsley's murderous impulses. In 1978, he slew 2 fellow inmates. Sawney Darwood was strangled and stabbed. William Roberts assaulted with a makeshift blade. Given his relentless brutality, authorities deemed Maudsley extraordinarily dangerous, commissioning a solitary 2-cell unit within Wakefield Prison's depths, specifically to incarcerate him indefinitely. Number 3, Jaime Osuna. Jaime Osuna, notorious for his violent past and prior conviction for the brutal murder of a woman in 2011, was once discovered armed at a former detention center, posing a significant threat to guards. Despite this, he was placed in the same cell as Luis Romero at Corcoran State Prison. Osuna then horrifically murdered his cellmate in an incident too disturbing to be detailed on platforms like YouTube. This chilling episode has spurred inquiries, legal proceedings, and concerns about inmate safety within California's prison system. In June 2022, Osuna's trial was paused by a defense request, followed by a change in his legal representation. His new attorney disputes the assertion that Osuna is mentally competent to stand trial for Romero's alleged murder. Number 2. Thomas Silverstein. Thomas Silverstein, a man notorious for his violent deeds in prison, began his criminal odyssey in 1975. Convicted of 3 bank robberies, imprisonment failed to quell his violent tendencies as he was later convicted of murdering another Aryan Brotherhood inmate and then becoming one of them. Later,
now you kill one of the Brotherhood inmates,
he was found guilty of a second murder. That
that's crazy.
What the fuck Smith, a high-ranking black prison gang leader. Silverstein and Clay Fountain, another inmate, brutally beat Smith 68 times. In 1983, he plotted and executed the murder of Officer Merle Eugene Klutz, stabbing him 40 times with the help of other inmates. Silverstein was then sentenced to perpetual solitary confinement, living over 36 years in a constantly lit and soundproof
nigga was fresh. Hold up. Nigga low-key fresh in this bitch right here. He like one of them uncles that's just like, he been gentrified by the black community. Like, you know, he posted up again. He got the New Balance on, got the gray sweats with the white polo tee. You know what I'm saying? He got the little headband, bandana on it. He smiling. He ain't feeling bad about nothing. He still smiled through all his shit. He fucked up though by killing some niggas, but Yeah, I see my nigga. And he had to go through his rehabilitation shit, you know, shave the beard, new him, grab his back out. Came back on white
Criticized as
Jesus.
torture by the ACLU, the Bureau of Prisons
Fuck
created
this
a
nigga held at
specialized
Arizona.
cell at Colorado's Supermax ADX prison to contain Silverstein's violence, embodying his status as one of the most isolated and notorious inmates in the criminal history of the USA. Number 1. Pedro Rodrigues Filho. Brazilian serial killer Pedro Rodrigues Filho, notoriously known as Lil Pedro Killer, admitted to over 100 homicides, including an astonishing 47 within prison walls.
What the
Initiated
fuck?
into violence at 14 as a response to his father's job loss, his savagery escalated following his fiance's murder by a gang. Seeking revenge, Filho orchestrated a bloodbath at the gang leader's nuptials, culminating in 7 deaths and 16 casualties. His most chilling act was his prison encounter with his father, also an inmate and his mother's murderer. Filho responded by stabbing him 22 times. After that, he targeted felons embodying what he deemed
Not
extreme
gonna say he
evil,
wrong, but
executing a convicted rapist and dispatching his cellmate for overstepping personal boundaries. Despite his brutal vigilantism, a law capping prison terms
can't
led
trust
to
them niggas from
Filio's
Brazil, dog.
2007
Them niggas,
release.
oh shit, he made that
Today,
release.
he maintains a YouTube channel refuting his monstrous image.
Hey, what's his channel?
Here
We got the
we've
reaction to
recounted
that
the
shit.
stories of the 10 most notorious inmates whose malevolent acts persisted even behind bars, casting a grim shadow over human history. We deeply appreciate your fortitude.
Alright, that's gonna wrap this video up. Definitely might have to look into Pedro's YouTube. He got a channel. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Peace.